Hi, doctor. My name is Jessica Salgado. I have been in a lot of pain due to lower back issues for almost a year now. Multiple ER visits. Every time I go to the ER, I always just get painkillers and end up coming back home. My insurance has taken me through the long route of recovery. It felt like somebody was stabbing me in the back. I have two little ones that I must care for. Um, Now I can't stand or sit for too long because I can't take the pain. I can't drive for more than 5 minutes before the pain comes back. And I just needed some help, please, to this day. I haven't been diagnosed.
Hey, Jessica, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What an honor.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. How old are your
Thank
kids?
you. My daughter, she's 18, and I have a son who just started high school. He's 14.
Oh, wow. So you're into it with the teenage kids.
Yes, sir.
The last thing you need is some back problem messing that up. I'll tell you that.
Yes, sir.
Well, I got your video. Thank you so much for sending it. And I understand that you've been suffering for a year with sciatica and a knife in the back like pain. How is that affecting your day-to-day life? Do you work?
Yes, sir. That's my main concern because I am the main provider for my children, and um, it's been my work is physical. Aside from also running around, being there for my kids. I have a son with autism, um, so I can't afford to be in bed all day.
It's really scary when pain prevents you from being the person that you know you need to be. And it sounds like your insurance has given you a hard time dealing with this problem.
Yes, sir. I started with severe sciatica back in last year in November. Um, I was doing a circuit course, and when I was done with the course, I felt off, but I thought it was the adrenaline. I was just trying to calm myself down. I headed over to take a shower, and all of a sudden, I just felt like two lightning bolts were just hitting me at once on both of my legs, all the way down. Um, I couldn't even step in the shower. I had to tiptoe. I felt like they were on fire, and I was like, "Oh!" I went, and then I tried taking a shower, trying to calm myself down. But ever since then, just symptoms just kept getting worse.
At this time, so that was last November, that was November of 2023, of 2022. And now you're having what? Is it mostly in the back or mostly in the legs?
Um, Mostly in the back, sir. I continue to have sciatica pain and felt off. With my insurance, I have to do everything through my primary care doctor. He has to send the referrals. I can't do anything without his approval.
Mhm.
Um, I for 7, almost 8 months, I would continuously go and I would get the flares where I just couldn't bear. And I would beg him and I would say, please, sir, give me a referral to a back specialist. I know something's not right. I actually walked in there with my son because I couldn't even walk in there. And every single time he would deny it and say, no, you will have to do physical therapy first, and then we will see. Um, I asked for an MRI. He's every time no. And until I guess I was just bugging him and kept going in there that he said, okay, I'll do a CT scan. That's it. That's nothing else we can do for you. Um,
But
but my
there's no reason why you can't have an MRI. You don't have any metal implanted in your body. You don't have a pacemaker or anything like that, correct?
no, sir.
So it's just a financial issue with the insurance. Okay. And right now, the pain is mostly in the back. Is it off to the side or is it right in the middle?
Yes, sir. About maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I was having severe stabbing pain right right by the belt line. It felt like it was center, like if someone was just stabbing me right in the center, which would kind of sometimes would not be able to breathe, or just I would
Mm,
just lock for a few minutes until it would subside. Um, but as of 2 months ago, I'm feeling the stabbing pains more off to my right side, right by my belt line. And I apologize, this probably is not the right terminology, but I feel as if there was a needle maybe moving around there, depending on how I move. Um, when I sit, I can't bear to sit any more than 5 minutes before I just have to stand up. And as of 2 weeks ago, whenever I put my heel of my foot down at all, if I'm barefoot, I just get like some sort of shooting pain that goes right up and then towards my pinky. Um, and in the night, it's just I have to continuously be moving my legs. Some sort of, I don't know, if in neuropathy where I just gotta keep moving them. But that is where I'm at now, sir.
okay, I understand. And your son, the autistic son, does he require help with activities of daily living, or is he able to dress himself and care for himself?
He cares for himself
Okay.
mostly.
So you don't have to do
I just
physical things, you just have to do motherly things.
I also have to do physical things, sir.
Mm.
I'm in the military, and I have to continue with my physical test. They understand that I'm going through the process, and they're allowing me time to heal. Um, but at some point, if I want to stay in and continue providing for my family and for my country, I I cannot just not do these tests.
Yeah, you have to pass the physical readiness test. Are you, thank you for your service. I'm sure this is making things so much harder for you, you poor thing. It's just too much mother, soldier, and not getting care. Now, is your health insurance through the military or do you have something on the private side?
Yes, sir. It's through the military. Mhm.
Okay. And you're active duty.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I understand. All right. I have the CAT scan that your doctor obtained, and if it's okay with you, we'll take a look at that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's see what's going on in there. This is your CAT scan. And a CAT scan, just like an MRI, is sectional imaging, but it's with X-ray as the basis. So anything that's bright is very dense, like these bones. Here are the bones of the spine, and they're numbered. Here's your L5, L4, L3. The discs that separate the bones are very soft, and so the X-ray shows them as being very dark. And here's your L3-4 disc and your L4-5 disc and your L5-S1 disc. And the disc, because the symptoms in your foot are along your pinky toe. That's the S1 nerve root. That's the one that's often affected by a disc at the L5 S1 level. So we're going to be particularly focused on this disc. And even on this image, we can see that this disc is bulging out right here. And your L4-5 very slightly, your L3-4 really not at all. In this image on the right side, we're getting a picture that goes through the disc. So let's look at your L4-5 disc. And here is the disc. And here are the nerve roots. They're going out these holes called the foramina. And all that looks quite normal. Okay. I'm looking at the problem with CT scan, and the reason we don't get very many is it's very hard to see the disc material. And that's true with you as well. This is your L5S1 level, and I can't make out what's going on out here. In the old days, the radiologists were better at this, but these days, it's just so much more common to just get an MRI. I don't see anything on this imaging that's going to help me understand what's going on with you. Well, that makes treatment really easy. The treatment at this point is you can't treat it until you know what's wrong. The symptoms you're having are suggestive of an annular tear, which is also sometimes called internal disc disruption. And that is where the disc is torn. It often begins with a history just like yours of doing something heavily physical. And then that initial pain is the tear in the annulus. And then over time, your body starts reacting to it. And so that knife in the pain, that knife in the back, some people will also describe it, as you did perfectly well, by the way, as a red hot poker. You defined it as a burning needle, but it's also some people say red hot poker. For those at home who are feeling a similar thing, it's like there's a red hot poker in your darn back, and what makes it worse is sitting down, because that increases the pressure on the disc, and oftentimes certain movements. Then your muscles go into spasm, and the sciatica that you feel, it's not actually sciatica in that circumstance. It's actually just the muscles cramping beyond imagination, and that creates a sense of pain shooting down the leg or into the heels. So you really sound like you have internal disc disruption, or also called an annular tear. You really can't see it well on CT scan. And the next step is definitely to get an MRI scan of your back. In your case, the primary care is the rate limiting step, and you've gone into the primary care and asked for an MRI and been told no. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was able to walk in there while I was in severe pain, and one of my supervisors saw me and demanded that they give me the MRI. So that's what we're working on now.
You're doing the right thing. The most important thing for you to get into the right treatment at this point is to get the right imaging. And the right imaging for you is definitely an MRI. If we see an annular tear on that MRI, then we can talk about the possible treatments for it. But basically, you can wait it out, which is not working for you. It's been a year and you can't fulfill your normal activities, so that's probably not a good option. There are some other treatments. There is a treatment now where they burn the pain fibers to the disc and try to denervate the disc. That can be very effective. And then the ultimate treatment for a torn disc that is just making your life miserable is to have the disc removed and fuse that level. The disc is the thing that's hurting. So by taking out the disc, you're taking out the thing that's hurting, taking away the pain. That's an extreme step. It's the last ditch effort, and we really have to prove to ourselves that this is what the problem is first. So next step is getting an MRI. the VA and military medicine, it can be hard to get connected, but man, we love our soldiers in this country. And one thing that really does work, once you get that bureaucracy working for you, you've got a very powerful ally behind you. We just got to get you positioned better to get the right care that you need, and you certainly deserve. We're not
Yes,
going to
sir.
rest.
Do you think that I can get better?
You can get better. Well, first of all, you haven't had any treatment. So let's say, I'm not surprised you haven't gotten better yet, because you're in this group, 9 out of 10 plus people get better on their own within 12 weeks. Well, your 12 weeks were up in February. Unfortunately, you're not in that group. But of the remaining group, we really have to know what's wrong to get you the right treatment. And you haven't had any treatment. Physical therapy was never going to treat this. So you haven't had any treatment. And that's kind of an opportunity, right? Let's figure out what's wrong, and we can then go over the standard treatment for that, and then we can get you better, and you will get better. These things get better. We just have to treat them properly. I want to see you back. Will you come back when you've got some more information for us?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for everything. I'm so thankful that I was able to reach you and God heard my prayers. Thank you so much.
I'm going to do my part for our American soldiers, I'll tell you that. And I'll look forward to talking to you soon, Jessica.
Big hug. Thank you.
Big hug.